Hey everyone, this is Sean. Out of all of the common household batteries that you can imagine, I feel like the 9-volt battery. I am energized, I'm pumped, I'm ready to go. There are three topics that we're going to discuss. I just needed to get this off my chest. I've been thinking about it the whole day, and it's time to address these topics. Number one, if you don't know already, I have an Instagram account called The Firearms Trainer. A brand new subscriber connected with me on Instagram. He subscribed to my Instagram channel. In the direct message, he asked me about a situation. He basically said that he works at an undisclosed transit post. So this can be your bus depot. This can be your train station. And over there, there's a law enforcement access area only. Law enforcement security access only. Only law enforcement and security can access this area. And there's been a lot of problems with transients. And this security officer was wondering if this is something that is standard in the industry. So his partner regularly goes in this hallway or this area with his gun drawn. Is this a good idea or not? Let me say this, and does not apply to every circumstance, but generally, I will have my gun drawn if there's a specific intent. If there's a specific situation that draws my attention, that requires me to draw my gun because I'm in fear of my life or the life of somebody else, then I'll draw my gun. But not every time you go through a limited area do you have to draw your firearm. I want to say in most circumstances you shouldn't, unless there's a specific threat. And the fact that there are always transients in this area does not justify the need to draw your firearm every single time. Now, if you are about to enter this access area and there's signs of forced entry, that's a different circumstance. And I'm also going to say this. This bus depot or this transit station is also patrolled by law enforcement agencies. What you don't know is that if you enter this hallway, you can have a law enforcement officer on the other end, and you're going to have an issue of crossfire. You also might have an issue of a maintenance worker working on wiring or plumbing in that area, and you're going to come out with your gun drawn. What legal justification do you have to muzzle a law enforcement officer or muzzle a maintenance worker? And the answer is you normally don't have legal permission to do that. If you have signs of forced entry and you find the need to do that, at the very minimal, what you have to do is call yourself out or identify yourself. I would say something along the lines of, private security, announce yourself. Say it like you have a pair of balls. If you don't have a pair of balls, say it like you mean it. The voice should sound just like it's coming from the gut. So once again, armed security, announce yourself. Just like that, a couple of times. And if you still find the need to draw your weapon, then go ahead and do that while you meet those corners or you negotiate those corners. Obviously have a partner when you're doing that. So that's my suggestion to one of our newest subscribers on Instagram. Thank you so much for the comment. Sir, you please be safe out there. If you have any other questions that I have not addressed, feel free to ask me. Number two, which really pisses me off. So one of our subscribers reached out to me. He works at a hospital. And he asked about wearing concealable body armor. And you want to know what these cowards at administration said? They said, no, you can't wear body armor, not even soft body armor, because it looks too aggressive. So what is this hospital administrator going to say when there's an active shooter in the hospital and there's a bunch of dead nurses, dead hospital staff, doctors are on the floor, patients are drowning in their own blood? When this all could have be prevented had a private security officer had body armor on and been able to address the threat. Let me tell you about hospitals. And one of these days, I'm going to have to just expose some of these cowards out there, guys, that are working in the hospital system. A lot of hospitals are ran by the house supervisor for the shift. The house supervisor doesn't know dilly squat about public safety, about law enforcement, about security. Yet he or she imposes their own beliefs on how staff should be protected. Well, you know what they're saying? They're saying this, that security are expendable. Expendable. Well, guess what? Guys, on this channel, we're over 4,600 strong. And we're growing and we're growing and growing, and we're starting to have a voice in the private security community. Some of this nonsense is going to stop today. It's going to stop today. Those of you who don't know me, I can play the game of assholes and dickheads. I can do that. I have the intelligence, the willpower, and the fortitude to do that if I have to. Now, I'm not going to personally go to these places, but I'm going to empower you with knowledge. So I would say to the subscriber who wants to start his own security company because he's fed up with this nonsense at the hospital, with this malfeasance, I would say this, partner, get your ducks in a row, start becoming financially stable, start having an emergency savings fund, an emergency fund, just in case you become unemployed, just in case you become terminated for becoming a whistleblower. My recommendation, obviously after consulting with an attorney, is this. I would consult with, actually before I consult with the Department of Labor, I would put in a claim with the Department of Labor. And that claim is I am not allowed to wear safety equipment to reduce my chances of injury from workplace hazards. And you know what I'm thinking? That's OSHA. OSHA requires a safe environment. They require employees to have safety gear, safety equipment, kind of like gloves, masks, PPEs, in environments that are unsafe. The hospital is one of the most unsafest environments out there. I did a video where I told you that security hospitals have more of a threat to their life than police officers. Make sure that you guys watch that video. When I got some time, I'll leave a link in the description box below. You already have an identifiable hazard. So I would write up a written complaint. Okay, a written complaint to Cal OSHA. If you're in California, your state has your own OSHA, and also the US OSHA, the federal version. Okay, write up a complaint and forward that complaint to Human Resources. Forward that complaint to the Director of Security. What's going to most likely end up happening is they're going to retaliate. Now, obviously, you can't utilize this plan if you have a long record of workplace discipline. You can't use this. So what's going to end up happening is they're going to start disciplining you. They're going to start changing your schedule, screwing with your schedule. They're going to give you these posts that are maybe a little bit more dangerous, or other posts that people generally don't want along this larger post. They're going to deny your days off request. They might cut your hours. You got to document all this. And you got to show that after you filed a complaint with OSHA, they started retaliating against you. And if your workplace, if they go hands-on on patients, they need to file, depending on the circumstances, most likely a use of force report with BSIS, the Bureau Security Investigative Services. Now, that's just California, though. Your state might have their own reporting requirements. And if it's the Director of Security or the administrators that you see that are using force against patients and not reporting it to BSIS, report them. And forward that report to the Human Resource Department and to the Director of Security. You're going to start getting retaliated against. Basically, you're forming your own shield against you. And they're going to force you out, and you're going to go back, and you're going to own that hospital. That's what I would do, as long as I have all my ducks in a row. I have savings for 6 months. Okay? Because the chances are I'm going to probably get fired. Guys, I've been down this route. You want to play the game of dickheads and assholes? I can play that. Moving forward to the last issue. We lost Deputy Calhoun from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. He was assigned to the Paris Station, which covers Lake Elsinore. He responded to a report of domestic violence. He was gunned down. Let me say this. Those of you who are private security, these people who gun down police officers, law enforcement officers, they're not going to distinguish whether you're a law enforcement officer or not. They're not going to say, hey, this guy's a security officer. Let me spare his life. It doesn't work that way. And mind you, this is an incident of domestic violence. A lot of times as private security, we want to get involved. We want to be the hero. Well, guess what? I watched that drone footage, which is just devastating to me. Deputy Calhoun's partner engaged in a gunfight with the perpetrator, with the coward, put him down, and all of a sudden the family members jumped in and started trying to go physical with the deputy. They started interfering. Hell no. You just called about your family member committing domestic violence and you're not backing up the first responders? Oh, hell no. It doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen. It does not work that way. I'll tell you this. As a young police officer back in the days, we got a call of domestic violence. I end up getting in a physical altercation with the suspect. As I was trying to bring the suspect to the floor, you want to know who jumped on top of me? The wife. The wife that called. Want to know who grabbed my arm, who grabbed my leg? The 4 to 5-year-old son that begged me to stop. That's how manipulated this family was. You think that I don't think about this all the time? I started this career to be a hero. If you're thinking about wanting to get into law enforcement or security to be a hero, that's just a dream, guys. There's no hero in this, in what I did. I took the husband out of the house. Family he lost his job. And later on, they were removed from that apartment. They couldn't afford to pay the bills anymore. You call that a hero? That's not a hero. So try not to be a hero, guys. And if you want to interject yourself into these situations, get backup, get a partner. It appeared, and this is no fault of the deputy, but it appeared that he was at the scene a little bit before the second deputy arrived. Wait, guys. I am the watch commander for my shift tonight, and we're going to debrief on the situation. Very similar how you and I are debriefing today. We're going to talk about this. Wait for backup if you have to get involved. And I'm starting to wonder, is it even worth it? Guys, if you're security, that's not your job to break up a domestic violence dispute. Most of the time, it's not your job. Let law enforcement deal with it. Observe and report from a safe distance. Reason being is you don't know if the other party is going to turn tables on you. Just like this deputy. This deputy saw his partner laying down in a puddle of blood. He stopped the threat. He engaged the gunman. And then all of a sudden, the family members who most likely called, they're holding him back to prevent him from taking more shots of the suspect, who may not even be down yet. Give me a break here. Just imagine that could be you in that circumstance. Observe and report for a safe distance. It's just not worth it, guys. These situations are extremely dangerous. That's all I have today. Sorry, guys, if I came off a little bit too strong. I'm very passionate about what I say on this channel. My job on this channel is to give you the best content so that you can make it home at the end of the night, so that you can share these videos with your partners, your loved ones, people that you care about at work. If you own a security company, I'm hoping that you forward a lot of these videos to your staff. If you manage a security company as well, I'm hoping that you're having these tactical debriefs with your staff as well. You guys all take care, and please be safe out there. I'm looking forward to the dialogue. Bye now.